94.3 The X, Front Range Alternative. I have Northern Colorado psychic Marla Mitchell in the studio. Good morning, Marla.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and your mic is working today.
It's working. I don't have to yell.
Yay! So, oh my gosh. So last week was your first week here in the studio with me, and we had a couple interesting calls from Damien and Shaylin. Damien, you picked up on something psychic about him, that he was like hiding something.
He was avoiding relationship issues big time. Yeah.
Big time.
Big time. And I was very, what's the word I want to use? Proud of him for admitting it.
Yeah, he just told us his whole story.
Yeah, of course, he lives out of state. That might have helped.
And maybe Damien wasn't his real name. Who
maybe
knows?
Not. And you don't have to give your real name.
No.
We don't care.
You can make it up. Yeah. Whoever you want to be, you can be.
Just call in if you have a question or a concern, or you want to know something more about what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, 1-800-595-2943 is how you can talk to Marla this morning, 1-800-595-2943. So I had a question that I thought about.
Go for it.
Bring it. So, we've had all those windshields shattering in northern Colorado, and I don't know, it hasn't really happened in a few weeks, I think, and it's kind of slowed down, but some murders and all that going on. I had a personal question the night that it kind of all started when the girl, I believe her name is Corey Romero, got shot in the neck. She was driving down I-25 and windshield shattered. She got shot. Yeah. I was house sitting a home in Greeley that week. I was at home in Fort Collins the night that happened, but I was supposed to be on the road, that same stretch of road that night. I would have been driving at about the same time that she got shot. Yeah. Now, my question, I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. My question was, in regards to guardian angels. Was my guardian angel protecting me that night? Could it have been me, possibly? Do you think?
That's a great question, and it goes back to even all the things that have happened in history, like the Twin Towers. You hear stories about people who were supposed to be at work that day and were not for whatever reason, because their guardian angel intervened and caused them to have a car breakdown, or they had to go to an emergency because their wife was in a hospital somewhere. So, for you and anyone else that may have been driving that stretch of road, it wasn't your experience. It wasn't something you needed to experience. Now, for the unfortunate woman that it happened to, thank God she lived, right? I'm pretty sure she did.
Yes.
Okay. And was it something that she was supposed to experience? We don't know, but it was something that she absolutely could handle. Her soul chose this in some way, or the experience that came through, she was strong enough to handle it. And then for all of us to experience compassion for her and get the news out that there is someone out there who is not healthy. Yeah. But the guardian angels do step in. They do protect us. They absolutely protected her and anyone else that may have been on the road. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It was, I remember waking up the next morning and just totally frightened. Wow. That
makes
could have been me.
Think. It makes you think. And even the actual killing that happened here in Windsor, right by the King Soopers. I drove that road like the very next day, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. But then I thought, well, I guess if it's my time, it's my time.
Right.
And I have to trust my guardian angels to handle the situation for me. So we can't run around in fear and worry. We need to put our faith in spirit, in our guardian angels, and trust that whatever happens is for our highest good.
Right, right. Now, another question about guardian angels, and I know last week you brought up the word God and all that. Now, what is the difference between how you're talking about God and religion God? Because I guess they could kind of be intertwined, but in a lot of ways, I'm sure it's very separate from the actual practice of religion.
I think God is a very personal term for everybody. And so I was raised religiously, but I view myself as more spiritual, which means I'm open to all faiths. I try not to judge or put my beliefs on anybody else.
Right.
But I believe that God's personal. Each person has their own belief in who God is to them. And to me, I can use the word God, I can use the word spirit, I can use the word universe, and to me it means the same thing. It's a source. Okay. It's a source.
It's a higher power.
Yeah.
Okay.
The source we're all tuned into.
Okay.
And we need to use it more to be on our path. Yeah. It's
definitely.
It can cause wars if you start saying my God's better than yours, as we all know.
Right, but it's really kind of the same thing.
It's the same thing. Just it's your own personal preference who your God is to you and how you practice it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Good question.
I was thinking about that last week, and I'm like, I don't want to scare anyone away, know.
And I don't either. So you will hear me use the term God, higher power, source, universe, spirit, and use those terms however they feel to you personally.
Right.
Because to me, it means the same thing. It's the source that we all come from.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
Great
if you
question.
If you have a question for Marla, give us a call, 1-800-595-2943, 943 the X Front Range Alternative. I'm Mollie Kendrick, and Marla Mitchell, Northern Colorado Psychic, is here in the studio with me. And we got a call during that song about paths that people have, and things that do things, happen for a reason, or was it just a chance?
Yes, and the caller brought up, the example that we used about the woman on I-25 that got shot in the throat, I believe. And she was saying, well, wasn't it just a chance that she was there? And we're crossing a fine line here, and, there's my beliefs and your beliefs, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what each of us believe, but for me, I would like to think of it as, there are chances and things happen randomly, but I also believe that spirit, source, God, higher power has a purpose and has a reason for the things that happen to us. I mean, we can't explain why the Twin Towers was bombed. We can't explain why a lot of terrible things happen to good people. All I'm saying is that what it feels like to me is this woman who had to go through this horrible tragedy, she was strong enough to handle it, and maybe other people, if they had been in her shoes, they may have handled it differently, and they may have, it could have been much more disastrous, or they may not have had their wits about them like she did. She did a very responsible, why she kept her wits about her thing by pulling over. I can't say if it was chance or not, but I believe that things happen for a reason, and I just practice acceptance, and I try to stay very present with whatever happens, and then ask for signs, ask for guidance to help me through whatever it is that I experience. Most of the things that happen to us create compassion. And we are all about compassion and caring for others, and doing so. Sometimes bad things have to happen so that we all wake up and come together as one for the person who was injured, for the incidents that are happening. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think so. And, also you were giving the example of, people who get cancer. Did they deserve that? No. It can be a genetic thing. It can be something your soul chose. And I don't want to get into something that can really offend anyone, because cancer is a very serious deal. But we don't know why some people get sick and some people don't. We don't know. My dad had Parkinson's. Did he deserve it? No. But it's something that brings me comfort, knowing that whatever he went through in the last stages of his life, the suffering and the pain, it was something that brought all of us as a family together, and it was something that helped him heal whatever that was, and we don't know what that was. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have had I work with a lot of cancer patients, and I have had every single one come back to me and say, in hindsight, I have learned from my disease. I have learned a lot about myself, and therefore I am a better person because of it, and I am stronger.
That's awesome.
And maybe that's all that has to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What other types of people do you deal with? I'm assuming all different types of people
ages,
you work with.
all different things. I've done hospice work. I help people die, which is extremely rewarding. I work with people who are very, very sick. I work with people who just come with questions about their life path, their career, troubled in relationships. There's never one day that's the same.
Right.
And even though I have many repeat clients, they come every week, every 2 weeks. Every session is different because every day we're different.
Right.
So I enjoy it. I've been doing it 15 years. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's 94.3 The X. We'll talk some more with Marla when we come back. If you have a question for her, you can give us a call at 1-800-595-2943, 1-800-595-2943. Again, though, just like last week, I'm going to ban questions like, what is the sex of my baby going to be? Or when am I going to win the Powerball? Because I know we all want those questions to be answered for us personally. I understand. But
it's not a good use of my gifts, and which means I can't do it.
Right. I'm Mollie Kendrick, and I'm with Northern Colorado psychic Marla Mitchell. And she's here in the studio. If you want to talk to her, give us a call, 1-800-595-2943. I might just bring you right on air if you call while we're talking. So don't curse or anything. 1-800-595-2943 is how you can get a hold of us. Ask her whatever questions you have. We were talking about spirit animals over the break. We had someone give us a call and tell us about that.
Well, her question was, do you do past lives? And I said, no. I've always been interested in it, and I've had it done, but I don't do past lives. But what I do, I can tell people about their spirit animal, their spirit totem, because like guardian angels, we have animals that also protect us and give us lessons. And so her spirit animal was a jaguar. And I don't know what a jaguar totem means. There's hundreds and hundreds of animals, but when you get your spirit animal, you can Google it and look it up. And I told her to look at jaguar under animal totems and find out what the lesson is. And then we started talking about, well, I want it to be what my favorite animal is, and why can't it be? One gal was mad at me because she wanted a dolphin, and I gave her a buffalo. She was furious with me.
That sounds pretty offensive.
She goes, I don't want a smelly, ugly buffalo. Ew, gross. And literally, she was so mad at me. And then,
oh no,
she called me later. She looked it up and she called me back. She goes, I love my buffalo. It means woman power. And I work in a man's world, and I have to deal with men all day, and I need to summon up my male strength. She goes, I love my buffalo, Tatunga. She was very funny.
That's awesome. What does the dolphin mean? Do you know offhand?
I don't know. I only know my animals.
What are your animals?
I've had it now. Now, we can have a spirit animal our entire life, like we're born with it, like a guardian angel. And that could be what our favorite animal is, right? And so, but then as our life changes and evolves, we get new animals to accompany it. So I've always had an owl, but recently I have been seeing an elephant. And I tune in, I'm going, that's not her elephant, that's my elephant. And then even to validate it, this was really, it almost floored me. I had a client bring her daughter over with her because she couldn't get a sitter, and the daughter was drawing quietly on the table while I was working on her mother. And when we got all done, the daughter handed me a picture. And it was, I love you, Marla, and she drew this elephant.
Oh my God.
And I said, why did you draw an elephant? She goes, because I saw it. And I went, oh my goodness.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
So she saw my animal totem, and children are very psychic.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. They're very, very psychic.
Now, does it, for some kids, does that kind of disappear, or do we all kind of have psychic abilities within us?
We're all born with a connection to spirit, of course, and we're half in the spirit world, half out, until we become more in our ego. We don't have an ego when we're young. We start identifying with the body when we get more social.
Right.
And so a lot of us learn, we are psychic, and then we kind of lose it, or we put it behind us because it's so different or weird. And by psychic, I also mean intuition.
Right.
It means deep intuition.
Okay.
And for me, I buried it, and then it came back in my 30s when I started meditating, and I was going through a crisis. And in came my gifts again. So everyone has them.
Okay.
We don't always work to develop them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And there's things you can do to develop it. Yeah.
What can you do to develop it?
Of course, you know what I'm going to say. Meditation. That's what I was doing.
Now, and meditation isn't necessarily like sitting
Like
with
the
your
Buddha?
legs crossed, and
No, meditation can be done in nature, walking, hiking. It's anytime you come to a place of stillness, even just 1 or 2 minutes a day where you just sit quietly, turn off the technology, and just be with yourself in awareness. And you don't push the thoughts away, but you allow them just to flow, because the thoughts will always attack you and come in and try to distract you. But meditation is listening to God or spirit, and prayer is talking to God or spirit. So they're both the same, just different perspectives.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're both healing.
Right.
Very healing.
Yeah, I haven't been on, I used to go for nighttime walks, and now I don't because there are a bunch of creepers in Fort Collins. But, that was always really relaxing to me because I can't really sit still unless I'm sleeping. But
yeah, and you can do that before you fall asleep. Just tune in, go through some gratefulness statements, and then just tune in and when we end our day with gratefulness versus running through what didn't go right in our life, we actually sleep better, and we wake up in a better mood when we practice gratefulness and well, here's what did go right, and we can end our day on a pleasant thought.
Good.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I did want to say, if we have time, I want to talk about the people who have birthdays today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Happy birthday. This is September 23rd, and it has nothing to do with the year, so no matter what age you are, your birthday shows that your numerology personal year is a 4.
And what does that mean?
Oh, a 4 is, and I'm going to use the word, work your ass off. So it's about vision and effort and limitations and restrictions. So it's your sense of identity and who you are is the theme, and you're challenged all year long, and you have to work hard. It's like building a foundation. When you build a home, you pour a foundation, you put in the rebar, you do everything you can because you're setting your goal. And so all of you with a 4 personal year are setting a goal, and you're trying to attain it. And it's very important to stay very realistic and not go into this idealistic, impossible dream kind of thing. You want to stay practical this year. If you divert from reality, you're going to hit an obstacle. So this is your work hard. You may not get a lot of rewards, but you will get them in your 5-year next year. So the harder you work, the better the rewards are next year.
Okay.
It's a good year to work hard.
Okay.
And enjoy it if you can.
Now, in numerology, do we have this, are we living the same year our entire life, or does it change?
It changes it goes from 1 to 9, and then back to 1 again.
Okay.
Okay. So like people in a 9 year this year, they're experiencing loss. It can be loss or viewed as loss, but it's change. It's let go of what doesn't serve your purpose. It's all about you looking at your life and then deciding that this doesn't work. I'm going to let this go. And then the more you let go, then in the 1 year, which follows, because you go back to 1, then you have opened up all this opportunity for new job, new relationship, new behavior, new look. It's like when you clean out your clutter, as a lot of us gals know, you clean out your clothes, you donate them, then you get to go buy new ones. Yay! Buy new shoes, new purse. So that's what your 9 year is. And you clean out the clutter and you get new stuff in your 1 year. But to answer your question, we change every year.
We change every year.
It's birthday to birthday.
Birthday to birthday. Okay. So I think you said I'm in a 9 year.
You are in a 9 year.
Okay. So then when my birthday comes up on October 27th, is that when I start living a 1 year?
It's strongest. The 9 is strongest, but and it's going to last. It'll linger like a full moon. How it wanes, it'll slowly wane off, and you'll start bleeding into your 1. So then the 9 and 1 will mix a little bit until you get more into 2016. Okay. But they kind of mingle for a little bit. But your 9's already been happening. You've changed jobs. You've moved, and you've done it willingly. I'm assuming.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it didn't feel that way for some things, but that's good. Change is never easy.
And that's I commend people who listen to the restlessness and the feeling of I need to change something, whether it's just a behavior or a bad habit.
Yeah.
And when you do this in a 9-year, you are only feeding the energy of positive reinforcement that the 1 will be even better because you're willing to let go. You're not holding on.
Right.
And so congratulations to you.
Awesome.
Keep going because there's probably some more change coming.
Oh, dear God.
Your birthday's coming up in a month. So, yeah.
Do you know what might be happening?
No.
Can you think of any, do you have any psychic visions for me? As long as it's not like death.
No, it's not.
In that case, I don't want to hear it.
And I don't tell people when they're going to die.
That's
thank goodness.
Yeah.
It feels to be more on a personal note for you. It feels to be more behavioral and just a different way of looking at yourself and how you feel. So I feel some more self-worth, self-esteem, and confidence coming into you. So you're going to start letting go of what behaviors and thoughts you had about yourself are going to start changing into more confident and just reassuring yourself. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool. It's very deep personal stuff because you've done the outer work.
Okay.
Quitting the job, moving.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's all very empowering stuff. So I can see that. Yeah, and not to delve too personally into my life, but yeah, I can see that happening. That's awesome.
And you'll look back a few months from now and going, oh wow, I used to think this way and now I think this way. So yeah.
Wow, very cool. Yeah. If you have a question for Marla about anything we've been talking about, spirit animals, guardian angels, numerology, anything really that she works with, astrology too. Yeah, you dabble in as well.
I dabble in it. Yeah.
If you have any questions about that, give us a call 1-800-595-2943. It's 94.3 The X Front Range Alternative. We got a call off the air from. Hold on one second. Let's. Now, did you say your name is Bo or Zoe?
Vo
with a V. With a V. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Gotcha. All right. So, can you repeat your question one more time for us?
Yeah, my question is, I've recently moved, like a big move, cross country, and I've got a good job, but it's not in my field. But I keep feeling a pull back to my field, but I haven't had any success with finding anything yet.
Okay. All right. I was tuning in while you were talking, and then, of course, you gave me some information off air, and I determined that you were in a 2 personal year. And so just throwing in that part of it first is a 2 personal year is a year about relationships, and all relationships for you are going to come up under scrutiny this year. So you're going to be dealing with relationships, including the one with yourself. And you get to determine which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to put boundaries up with and which ones you want to throw away. Also, a 2 energy is about being supportive and not necessarily being in the limelight or getting what you want. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get the job that you want, but when I tune in, I do feel that you are in a place of, there's a great deal of light around you right now, and it's showing that you are learning a lesson, and I'm going to use the word patience, which is also part of the 2 energy. You need to learn patience, and everybody hates that word, including myself. But I'm seeing a bright light. The patience, they're asking you to be patient until the first part of the year, like around February. I feel a shift in February, and then I feel like it happens very, very quickly. Something drops in your lap out of the blue. You will then be starting a 3-year. You'll be into the next year, and your 3 will be happening, and 3 is creativity. So you will be creating what you want. So if it were me, I would just learn to be accepting of the job that I'm in, even though it's not your field and you don't like it particularly. It is holding a space for you because we have to give time for the universe to work for us, for God's spirit universe to work for us. And so learn patience, and things happen when they're supposed to. And Molly and I were talking about this. So many times we try to control something, right? Mm-hmm. We force it. And,
the job I'm in, it's not that I don't like it. I really enjoy it, but it's weird because it's that it's that pull towards what is my field.
Right.
It's not that I dislike what I'm doing. It's just like my heart feels like there's something that's not there.
Awesome. So I'm going to commend you for being aware that there's a pull, because oftentimes we're so unconscious we don't sense that. And so I'm sensing that the pull is because it is pulling you towards it. Mm-hmm. Be patient. You're very intuitive. You know what's coming. You need to wait for opportunity to present itself, and then it will happen, but not till around February. And then it's going to happen very quickly. And it feels like before spring is over, you'll be in the job that you're being pulled towards. But good on you for sensing that you're pulled that way, because you're right. It's coming. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Be patient.
Gotcha. Now, Vo,
That's
I have
the hard part.
Yeah. One question I have for you, Vo, is what field is your field? What do you want to go back to?
Counseling.
Counseling.
Therapy.
Okay.
Awesome.
Very cool.
And you're in a two
again,
energy.
like I said, I literally moving cross country.
Yeah. Okay.
Is what we did.
Okay. And the two energy is strong right now. And so obviously you use a lot of your two energy in therapy, because that's about supporting and listening to others. So it could be that because you're being asked to wait, it's because your approach to how you're going to do this new job, but it's the same old job, but in a new way. Does that make sense?
That does.
You're going to do it different. And so you have to go through the two to figure out what is changing in you with people and relationships, so that when you start getting into therapy again, you will do it different, because you will change from this two energy.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's awesome.
It's kind of like, you have to take the time. I'm a big believer. I tell people you got to take care of yourself to take care of anybody else.
Right.
But you see, it's kind of like you have to take the time to take care of what needs to happen for you, so that you can come back to do what you do, whatever it is you do.
You're absolutely right. And the gift that the universe is bringing you is the time to heal. So you have a job, you are earning money, right? Mm-hmm. While you're healing.
And it's a job I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed when it comes to that.
Great. So just go with it, and the universe will bring it back to you in a different form.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
You're very welcome.
Right on. Thank you so much, Vo. We had someone calling us. We'll see if they call back, because we just have a few more minutes. It's 94.3 The X. If you want to give us a call, have a question for Marla, we're at 1-800-595-2943. I'm going to take this call right now on the air. 94.3 The X. Who's this?
Shay.
Is this Shaylin? Did you call last week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for calling us back. What did you want to talk about?
I told Molly you'd call back. How's that for psychic?
I've been trying to call you, actually, but I've just been super busy.
That's okay, Shay. What is your question?
I actually have that guardian angel question. As you know, my friend passed away 2 years ago, and I want to know how to be open to seeing or feeling their presence.
Okay. When I tune in, I do feel a female energy around you. I do feel that her passing, and you can acknowledge this or not, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to keep talking. Her passing happened, I'm going to use a tragic word, meaning it happened in a tragic way, and there was something, because she died young, because of the circumstances around her death, I feel tremendous loss there, and even still, not on her part, but in the way it happened. Does this make sense?
Yes.
The way it happened was not good. Okay. Yes, she is an angel around you. She is someone who, I'm just going to kind of fill in some spots here. When we die, we go into a review process when we physically leave the body. And we review our life and how we died and how we treated others. And it's not anything that we experience. We watch it and we learn. She's still in review, but she is still around you. And I feel that she is, as a guardian angel type of energy, she is giving you, like, go for it. She's behind you 100%. She's also learning vicariously through you. So she's not haunting you or shadowing you, but she's watching you from afar and learning from you and your experiences, because in some way her life was cut short, And she is now learning through you what things could have been for her and how things could have been different. And so you are a shining example for her, and she's protecting you along the way. Does this make sense?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah. She's very, I just feel like she's very sisterly towards you. I feel a very strong connection, and she's appreciative that you are allowing her to shadow you. I'm just going to use the word shadow. Okay? Yeah. And it feels like a very wonderful exchange between the two of your souls.
Oh, okay. So, I've actually tried to maybe call her to me, asking her to show me if she's there. Kind of by like a soft show, like show me a butterfly or show me a rainbow. And I feel like I don't ever get anything, but it's partially because I'm somewhat afraid to see it.
Yeah.
I think that's why she's not showing anything.
When we're in grief, we have a really hard time getting messages. It blocks it. Negative emotions block the spirit from coming through. And so until your grief can become lighter and you can have more acceptance for her passing, you may not be getting what is right in front of your face. Okay? And it can be something simple as a song playing with the right words, someone else having the same name as her, or just you going through your day and all of a sudden she pops in your head out of nowhere. And there she is. It's her getting a message through. You're just not wanting to accept it, or you're too afraid. Exactly. Okay? Okay. Hang in there. It's going to get better.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Shay, for calling in. If you have a question, we have maybe like a couple more minutes. I saw some other people calling. 1-800-595-2943. We have just a couple minutes.
Okay, while we're waiting, I wanted to talk about what's in the skies. We have a lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse on Sunday. It's in Aries, and this lunar eclipse is a super moon. It's the closest to the Earth, the second one this year, and it's a harvest blood moon. So look out your window on Sunday about 8 o'clock. The moon will be red.
Ooh,
and it's gorgeous. And this
fun.
moon is about relationships. Stay grounded, stay focused, think before you speak, because you're going to hurt somebody's feelings.
All right, we have someone calling real quick, 94.3 the X. Who's this?
This is Poppy calling.
Poppy. Hey, what's your question?
Well, I would like to know what my spirit animal is. I saw a wolf years ago in a meditation.
I'm laughing because that's what I just saw. Oh, my gosh.
Is that right?
Yes, I saw the face of a dog come in with a very pointy nose. Now, my first hit was coyote, but they're the same family, kind of. So if I were you, I would look up wolf, and I would look up coyote and go to Google or any search engine and type in wolf, coyote, animal spirit guide and read what it says. And it'll say, if this is your animal totem, here's what you are learning. Okay?
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, have you time to give me my number?
What's your birth month and day?
That would be June 4.
6-4. I don't need the year. Okay, so that's a 1. Oh, congratulations. You were in a 9-year like Mollie is. So it was strongest around your birthday. You're heading into a 1. So you have had lots of change, either physically in your environment or in yourself. And it's the more you can let go, the better your life will be in a 1 because you're promoting change.
Great. I like that.
Good.
Like
Keep it up, Poppy.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you too, Poppy, and have an awesome day. Marla, we have like 1 or 2 minutes left. Do you have any workshops coming up? Tell me about those.
I have a numerology workshop on October 17th coming up. I also, and that's just learning about numerology and doing your own life map, which predicts your life from birth to age 72.
Okay.
And you can look at patterns that show here's what happened when I was 21 and now it's repeating at age 60. What's that going to mean? So you can learn to predict and kind of anticipate what energy is coming your way and not be afraid of it, but accept what's coming and do it different.
Okay.
Because we can all do our life different when we are open to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and you'll be back on next Wednesday
Absolutely.
at 8 o'clock. Today was an awesome day. It was your second day here in the studio with me. Last week, people were a little scared to call in, but we got lots of calls today, and that was really awesome.
And it was great. And you had really good questions, too.
Yeah, very cool.